I can't tell if we're live yet or not.
We're not live.
It says meeting is now streaming. Now streaming live on Facebook.
How's go ahead. How's everybody doing out there? Happy Thursday to everyone. So as we've promised, gosh, for the last 6 or 8 weeks or so, every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going to bring in an incredibly special guest to share some insight as to how they can offer services to help you and your business, and sometimes not business related. But today's very, very special guest is Liz Nonnemacher. She runs a referral and collaboration business that is just absolutely fantastic. So welcome, Liz. Take it away.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thanks for being with us. Alicia?
Oh, no, I don't think she froze.
Oh.
It's funny. It looked like you froze for a minute. And I was like, what just happened?
Oh,
So Liz runs this really amazing equivalent of like business networking groups or like some sort of in-person networking groups, but basically entirely online using Facebook and other platforms to help meet other people all over the world. Randy and I did a live earlier today where we talked about, we now know people all over the world from Liz's groups like Australia, New Zealand, Asia, Europe, you name it, all over the place. So it's always kind of funny to like look at the back of people's Zoom and like look at their house and look out the window and whatever. So we've loved your groups because it's been a good way to meet people that we never would have really met. And obviously in the COVID world, you're not really going to go want to hang around 20 random people that you have no idea where they've been.
Yeah, and go pass
Right.
out business cards and share what you do, but rather it's a more personalized one-on-one touch. So it's fantastic. So I know that you have 2 primary services. If you'd like to maybe explain a little bit, or at least the 2 that we've been a part of, a little bit to the audience about what that is.
sure. So I have the referral groups. I'll be gearing up for group number 25 in about 2 weeks, about 2.5 weeks, probably like I think the 8th of February. And so they are a category exclusive group, meaning that, you know, you're in your own category. And we usually have about 20 to 25 in those groups, and they run for 6 weeks. And it operates like almost as though you're in person, but you're not. So you get together with other people that are in the group, and you share audiences and figure out ways that you can refer each other, because everybody, you know, like one person will know 500 people and the other person knows 500 people. And then they all, you know, kind of get together and collaborate and refer. And we also have Zoom mingles during during the 6 weeks. We do a lot of stuff, but you don't have to leave home. You can really come to the meetings in your pajamas if you want and not have to worry about it. But you are, you know, meeting people from all over the world.
Yeah, it's been an incredibly amazing experience. We've been in, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them, whatever the number is. And, you know, maybe the first 1 or 2, we didn't exactly know what we were getting into, or at least I didn't. And what I have found is, like anything, and I've certainly shared it with the last several groups, is, you know, this is one of those things where you get out of it what you put into it. And if you make it a point to reach out and build some relationships, the opportunities are endless, not just from a business standpoint, but really from even a personal relationship standpoint. You know, we've got people, including yourself, that as a result of this group, you know, we've got a friendship that is built above and beyond the business side of things. The opportunity to refer people. And in some cases, depending on what the business is, you know, like ours, we're always looking for people that, I think even more than a referral, but almost an extension of your own team, where, you know, someone needs something that maybe we can manage, but we don't necessarily do. And being able to have a resource of multiple people in a particular field and match up personalities and say, you know, this person needs a bookkeeper, and I have 5 of them on my list. And this particular client is going to work well with this client the best. And so we create that introduction. And so it's really amazing the network spread that has happened throughout these groups.
That's awesome to hear. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, a lot of people say the same thing. And I know that, one of the things that I had always seen, like especially with Facebook groups, so maybe you're looking to hire like an an OBM like yourself. And so someone will say, can you recommend an OBM? And then, 30 names get tossed out there, and 30 people contact that person. This is a whole different way of doing that. Within the group.
You get it referred to, like someone in someone else's circle says, I need someone that does this, and they're going to get a recommendation from someone that they already know and trust. And that is huge.
Right. It does really make a difference.
So tell the story of how you turned this into a business, because obviously I don't know what you did before this, but there's probably a funny story, I imagine, behind how this came up.
There is kind of, it's kind of funny. So what I did before this is that I've had online businesses for, oh my gosh, for 17 years. I can't believe it's been that long.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, 15 years, something like that. Anyway,
Way before COVID.
Yeah, way before. So I worked with product-based businesses before I did this. So I started doing this like maybe 2 years ago, and probably less than 2 years ago. So I had worked with product-based businesses, but it was like it was popular I would do like catalogs for holidays. So it was like Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, and then the rest of the year would always be really slow. So that was sort of boring. And then I started like delving into Facebook groups, but then I found out that Facebook groups could be really clicky, and wasn't always a great, just, I don't know. Sometimes, some of them have a really good vibe and some of them don't. So I started my own Facebook group, and then somebody wanted like a list of people that were in I don't know, it just started the whole thing. So I made a whole new website, started a networking group, and then I had these little networking groups, and they were fun, but they just, I don't know, I wasn't feeling it, but other people liked it. And then one time I had this guy, he was really whiny. I mean, he was just always complaining about everything. And he said, I wish you would have a group where, there was only one of each person. And I thought, oh gosh, now another thing, because he didn't like it, that within his little circle, there was another social media manager. So I thought about it for a summer. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll just try that. Like, I'll just, kind of test it out and put it in beta. And the first group I sold out within a week. And so I knew, I hit on something. And I've, played with them. The first time I had it for 3 months. Oh, that's too long. So and then I tried 2 months. That was still a little too long. I tried, and then I have it for 6 weeks, and it's the perfect amount of time, because if you have it too far out, people tend to not participate. They think, well, I'm busy this month, but next month I could do it, and then that month comes, and then the next. So when you have it for 6 weeks, you really have to get in there.
Yeah, there's a sense of urgency that's created for sure.
Right.
We've been a part of a number of these, as I mentioned, and we've, like the last couple of them, you get on one of those early one-on-one meetings with somebody. Maybe it's before the first mingle, and I remember one in particular. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I have to get like 10 more meetings scheduled before Friday." And I was like, "Well, hang on. You don't have to have them all done, by this first mingle. You can take time, schedule them." And so I think it's great that you get to create that sense of urgency. But 6 weeks is still a lot of time.
Yeah.
If you go into it organized and ready to go.
Right.
But wait, I think we do what I'm going to say not a majority of the people do in the group, because we're just type A personalities. So we have the whole list of everyone who's in the group, and we methodically go through the list and schedule the appointments. One, because the more you put it off, it's just going to take longer, and you're going to have less time. And then it's not going to be when you want to do it. Like, we purposely do all of ours 2 days a week, because we don't want to be like, I'm working, oh wait, I stopped to talk to somebody, now we don't want to mess up our zone. So we schedule ours ahead of time, but you really do get out of it what you put in. If you expect everyone to come to you, it's like going to a bar and waiting for someone to buy you a drink. It's like, it's not, statistically, it's not going to work out as well as if you go looking for people to talk to.
Make it happen.
And it's online. I mean, what are they going to do? You can always shut your computer on them. Like,
Yeah. Well, I think you make a good point. It's like you get out what you put in. Because I remember one time, this was like, I don't know, 8 groups back, maybe. I had somebody who said, oh, I'm not meeting anyone, And so I said, well, are you reaching out to anyone? No. And it was just, have you, so then she said, well, she met one person. Well, did you like try to connect them with anyone? No. So you can't just really sit back and not do anything.
Yeah.
And some of it's fear that, I mean, again, it's like they're on the internet. What are they going to do to you? Like,
Right.
like we've talked to people for an hour because we were like fascinated by them. We liked what they were talking about. And then some people after like 10 minutes were like, you're not a fit for us. Like, you're nice and all, but we're going to move on.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. I always say that, not everybody is going to be a fit for everybody else, but you're going to find people within your group that are going to be perfect fits for you.
Oh, absolutely. And we've certainly run into a few of those where you kind of get off the phone call and you're glad. And now, not us. Nobody ever did that after they got off the phone with Hillary and myself.
Oh, we're pretty entertaining.
Just kidding. I'm sure there's several of them out.
I'm sure people think we're overly enthusiastic and annoying, and I don't know what else.
Yeah, but it is a great way to meet people that do something totally different than you. And
especially in COVID, because if you sit around trying to find people, and there's so many people in the virtual space who are like, well, I'm just waiting for it to go back to normal. I don't think normal's happening. Like, the normal is the new normal, like the Selena Gomez song. It's not going back to March 2020. It's not happening. Like, that world is gone. That ship has sailed. Like, people want Zoom. People, maybe not for school, but for everything else, people don't want to have to go meet everybody. I don't want to spend a half an hour in the car to go do a meeting for an hour and another half an hour back. It's a waste of time. What's the point?
Well, especially is like you said, like most people that you are going to connect with are you're going to be a fit with, and somebody that you're going to know for a long time and that you can work with. Well, you're right. What if you go and you drive and you meet somebody a half an hour and then you just don't click?
Yeah.
So if you're home, you just part ways and you're friendly, and that's fine. And you haven't left your house.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think another interesting point, you've made this point several times, that because you have the group, in particular the referral group, set up in the way that you do, you have a little bit of something for everyone based on what their preferences are. There are the ability to schedule the one-on-one meetings that usually last 10 or 15 minutes. We don't want to scare everybody away and say every call is an hour. 10 or 15 minutes, and then you have the mingles, which I think is like 4 or 5 spread out over the 6-week period, which I have not been on one that's lasted more than a half an hour.
No.
They're short, they're sweet. You get to meet some people face to face. But the third component, I think a lot of people really take advantage of and maybe enjoy as much as all of it, and that's the social boosting.
Yeah.
You want to kind of explain that just a little bit for those that maybe don't want to do it because they don't want to meet people and they don't want to get on video. There's another way.
Right. So, so the kind of I've played with the groups because everybody likes something different. And so I started the social boosting, I think with like the second or third group. So we do that in the referral groups. We do that twice a week. We do that Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that's where we have a thread, and you can put a link to your whatever post that you want comments on that day, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. And everybody comments, if they want to participate. Everybody comments on everyone else's, and it really does help. And I know, and I also do separate. I do just groups that are social boosting, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday groups. And you've been in almost every single one of them.
Yeah.
And I know you must like them because you keep coming back.
You know, it's funny. I feel like that we build just as great of a relationship with people. Maybe not just as great. We certainly build a lot of great relationships just in the social boosting group, where there isn't a scheduled meet and greet. There's not really the mixers or anything, because I think that number one, people are on their social media all day, every day, and it's a great way to boost your engagement, whatever it is that you're looking for. But it can be fun too, right? It's not all just hardcore business, and you don't have to be regimented. You know, there's funny responses that come back from various posts, and it really is, it's entertaining. And, you know, obviously it takes the commitment, because if you're going to participate in whichever one, you know, if you're going to put your post out there and try to circle back around later to get them all, you obviously have to do that. And hey, we've all missed them. You have to come back the next morning and do it. But really, they can be entertaining, and you can really learn a lot about someone and what they do and how they go to business simply by just doing the social boosting. I think one example is, was it Sue that posted a video of her, she's making scarves, I think, or something around Christmas.
Oh, Sue Flynn?
Yes.
Was it the pillow?
Yeah. It was making the pillow that she's got like 1,000 views or something on it. And it was just a great homemade video, and kudos to her for stepping out of her comfort zone and making that happen. And there's a lot of cool stuff that comes. It's not just boring old business. So.
Well, I try to give tips in there too, you know, for like, you know, that not everything that you put out there can or really should be business related. Because if you put everything that's business related, no one really gets to know you.
Right.
And it's the same thing in the referral groups. You know, if you strictly talk about, you know, try to find something, I always encourage people to try to find something that you have in common.
We've made it through entire calls out of the referral group and never actually talked about business on a few of them. You just get in there and start
we
chatting.
just kind of self-explanatory, right? We're an online business manager. Like, either you need one and want one, or you don't. So I can explain what one is in 2 sentences.
Right.
Well,
it's good stuff.
So tell us when your next group starts, if there's any room, and then like the cost for each of the 2 groups. Or
okay, so the next referral group will start February 8th. And I have a wait list, and you can just message me and find me on Facebook. You can send me a friend request, and you can message me if you're interested in that. And then what I do, it's $177 for 6 weeks. So it's really inexpensive. And then, but then if you're on the wait list, the first day that the sales page is open, I will take $20 off. So it's $157. And then the social boosting groups, the next one for sure will start on the 19th of either the 19th or 17th of February. But I've had a bunch of people asking me for an earlier one, so I don't know if there may be a February 1st group or not. But you can just message me, and those are $67, 6 weeks of social boosting. We usually get about 30 people in a group. They've been pretty big.
When you say wait list, you mean you're waiting to sign up, or you mean
you're waiting to sign up? Yeah. So they're waiting.
The next one after that is when 6 weeks out from then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the social boosting group, they pretty much, in fact, sometimes on the social boosting group, you'll run more than one at a time based on demand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Depends. Like at the holidays, I think I had 2 at a time.
Yeah.
And there were some people that signed up for both of them because there were different people in each one.
Right.
So
for like people like us that have people helping us with our content, it's not that hard to post. If you're the one writing the content, thinking of the content, making the content, it's a lot more work.
Right. I think the other side of that is if you're spending all that time and effort to create amazing content, whatever that may be, for a very small investment of whatever you said, $67. What a great way to put that content in front of thousands and thousands of people potentially. So yeah, it's a great deal.
Right. And we do that in the social boosting group too, or in the referral group too, twice a week.
Yep.
So it either way, you're gonna meet a lot of new people.
Well,
And
we'll
your
drop,
content yourself will connect with a lot of new people.
Yep.
right? Well, we'll drop your information below, or you can drop whatever you want to drop if you have a program page or whatever about purchasing those groups from you,
Okay,
and your Facebook page if
okay.
you want.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
otherwise, it was awesome to talk to you as always.
Yay, I'm glad that we were able to do it.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We've been talking about it for, I don't know, 6 or 8 weeks, I think. Just finally got it scheduled and set up.
I know. Perfect. I'm glad to be here.
Well, thanks again, Liz. Have a great night,
You're
everyone.
welcome.
See you later.
See you later.